Good afternoon, grade 10s. It is good to have you here. Welcome to everyone that is joining us. Today we are going to work from your Delphi textbook, page 31. I'm going to actually work through Delphi activities with you so that you can see how it is done. Okay, so if you've got your Delphi textbook close by, it's a good idea, quickly run and go fetch it. Page 31, we're going to look at the test, improve, and apply. Okay, let me share my screen. And go up to the top here. Okay, so the first activity we are going to look at is called the mouse move event. Okay. So what I would like you to do is in Delphi, you're going to design a new program. It is going to be called C1 Mouse Move. The form is Mouse Move Event. Please place 3 panels. As you can see, it is panel green, panel red, and panel slave. Now, panel slave, you won't have any text on, but on the green and red, you're going to change the caption to green and red for me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into Delphi to show you exactly how it is. Okay, so here I have my program. The font is just slightly smaller in Delphi here than what it is on Notepad++, so just you might need to zoom in a bit. Okay, so your instruction says start a new program, new application. You're going to place the following components, our 3 panels, panel slave, panel green, and panel red. You're going to change the captions in the object inspector as indicated. So if I click on panel slave, you will see it highlights over there. And then in the properties section, my caption is going to be empty and the name is going to be PNL slave. The same for green. I will place a second panel on PNL green, then my caption is going to be green, and there you will see there I'm going to change my color to CL green. For panel red, I'm going to make the caption red. The color is CL red, so at the moment you won't see the different colors. Okay, we are going to code that shortly. And the name that you're going to use is PNL red. Okay. Add an on mouse event for the panel green. So how do I do an on mouse event? So I click on my green mouse or green panel, and I'm going to go to, in my object inspector, to the events part. And then what you're going to do is you will scroll down until you get on mouse move. So over there, you will see if I double click on it, it's going to open and I will have my on mouse move. Now I just want to show you, it looks a little bit different to the ones that you have been working on. So let's quickly just look at the top. There is unit, there's the name of my program, okay. These are the uses. You don't have to go and design anything. Later on when we start calculations, you will add additional uses. A question the other day was asked about type, what goes underneath type. Every time you add a new component, it is going to be placed underneath type and will say what class it is. Okay, and also any procedures, as soon as you double click on a component, it's going to create a procedure, and with these in brackets, we call those parameters. Okay, so we've got 3, we've got the green mouse, we've got the red mouse move, and the form mouse move. That will be for the last one. Okay, so the question was for, let's go back to our design. I double click on the green one Okay, well, sorry, I wasn't supposed to. I was supposed to use my on mouse move. And now I have got an additional thing, so I just need to delete that. And we're going to delete this one because we don't want a panel click. I want to actually use the on mouse move. So I double click there. Okay, so there is my code. And let's just quickly see what our different parameters are. Sender T object, so it's of class, it's a type object. Shift state, X, Y. So X, Y, you know from maths, that's your X and Y coordinates. So it needs to know where it's shifting to. Okay, so how do I code this? Very, very easy. Remember your space so that it is aligned for ease of use or for viewing. Okay, so we'll have panel slave. Now, what am I going to do? I wanted to, let's just read it. It says, add an on-mouse move event for panel green. When the user moves the mouse over the green panel, the color of the panel slave, so that was the top panel, must change to green. Okay, so panel slave, I wanted to change color. So my method, remember the section after my component is called the method and the property. And we use American spelling here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the panel green, change it to, so whatever panel green is, it is the color of panel green is going to change panel slave. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Okay, the reason it gave me this error is because I had by accident double clicked on the button green. So we're just going to remove that reference. And we're going to wait. So here is my program. Welcome to the students that have just joined. I'm just going to minimize this. Okay, so basically, as you can see, I'm going to run it again because that happened very quickly. So basically what I want, as soon as I take my mouse over the green panel, so I must be very careful that I don't do it before the time. I want this panel, this is panel slave, to change. So whatever the green one is, I want that to happen to my panel slave. So watch now, if I take my mouse over, and there we go, it has changed color. Now what I wanted to do is I wanted to do the same with the red panel. Okay, so let's go back to our design. We are going to go to the red panel. I will go to the events section. Okay, and I'm going to double click on mouse move. Let's get to our code. Okay, and let's get it back. Come on. Okay, I might have deleted it by accident. Okay, so let's see if it's there now. That's the problem there. Okay, let's just remove this end and place it there. Okay, so here is my panel red, and this time what I'm going to enter here is I'm going to type in here PNL slave dot color, and I want to assign whatever panel red is the color that was allocated. Now remember, I showed you in the object inspector we had already defined the color. So now whatever color is in panel red, I want it to write to panel slave when I move my mouse over it. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so here is my program. When I move the mouse over the green, it changes green, and when I go over the red, so here I can have some fun there. I can swap between green and red as I please, like a traffic light. Okay, so that wasn't too difficult. Now there's one last little bit that it wants us to do, is it is asking us for a form mouse move. So how do I change the form do those changes. So I'm going to click once on my form, not double click. And again, in the events area, I'm going to go for find on mouse move. Okay, there it is. And I'm going to double click. And as I double click on it, you will see it's going to open a new procedure for me. And in this section, I'm going to say panel slave dot color, and I'm going to assign FRM mouse move dot color. Okay, so basically when I go back over the anywhere on the form, it must change my mouse color or the slave color back to the original color. So let's take a look. Okay, here is my program. I go over the green, it changes to green. I go over, let's see, there we go. So anyway, if I'm on the form, I wanted to go back to gray. And if I go into red, so red, gray, green. Nice little activity, something that you can add into your pad. Okay, so that was to create the mouse move event. So now you have just learned that I can code over here, but I can actually specify not just with an on click. So that means when I click on a button or a component, but in the events here, let me make this a bit bigger. Let's see if I can increase the size here. Okay, there are a whole variety. So there is drag and drop, there is on enter, when I exit, the on mouse move. There's a very fun activity that you have to chase a button, see if you can click the button. So we will be getting to that activity. But for now, I want to first try another program. Okay, I'm going to activate the chat function. If you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand or enter, wave at me so that I know that you are asking a question. You won't be able to see the chat, but I can see it on my side. Or it won't display on my screen. You will also be able to see it in your programs. Okay, so that was the mouse move event. Let's look at the next activity. The next one is a treasure hunt. Okay, I hope we're going to have enough time to get through it. I'm going to close this program and I'm not going to save it at this stage. You need to design this yourself. And so if your Delphi is not working, just use blocks in Word, and then I want you to write the code for me. Hopefully, I see that some of the students are saying that if you've got an iPhone or a tablet that's an Apple tablet, that you are struggling submitting work. Try different ways or just keep trying. It will. I'm not going to be too strict on handing in at this stage. I appreciate everyone that has been handing in up to now. Okay, so the next one we are going to take a look at is I want us to look at the treasure hunt. Okay. Let me just find my treasure hunt. Just give me 1 second. I had it open and then I closed it by accident. Here we go. Okay, so I've got it now here with me. So this program, what it does is we want to write a Delphi program to simulate a treasure hunt. There will be a number of arbitrary shapes placed on a form that the user cannot see. So in runtime, the user is not going to be able to see all of these shapes. If they right-click on a treasure, it is made visible. The user must try and find all these treasures. So what you're going to do is you're going to start a new application. You're going to place the different shapes on your form. Okay, we have a square, so you're going to use the shape option. So if you type here shape, okay, the T shape, you'll insert a shape, and then when you click on a specific shape, just to help you, the name you will call it whatever you choose to. So there's my shape. And then we are going to go scroll down. So the standard shape when you insert a shape is going to be a square. But then when I click on shape in my object inspector, then I can make it a circle. I can make it an ellipse, okay, a rectangle, a round rectangle. So there's all sorts of different types of shapes that you will be using. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this one so it doesn't mess. Let's see what it's doing. Okay, so there's my program. Place different shapes on the form. We can use the shape component, which is found on the additional palette. The best and easiest is just use your search there. Each shape can be customized by changing its brush, shape, and pen properties. We need to hide these shapes. This can be done by setting the brush and pen. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go onto Form Activate. So I showed you how to go to Form Create. This time we're going to work on Form Activate. I'll click once on my form, go to my events, and then the very first option there that I can see, I'm going to double click on Activate, and it will, I have now opened the one with the answers. Okay, so maybe that's a good thing, so we might run out of time. So what we are going to have here is you will then define every single shape for him. But you see here, I first set my brush, then I set my pen. Okay, so right there, I think I'm pushing a button. Shape 1, brush, okay, dot color. So I'm going to change the color of the brush, and I will make it FRM treasure hunt dot color. Okay. Then now, why am I making it the color of the form? Because I want to hide it. Okay. Then shape 1 dot pen. Then the pen color on the inside. If you look at your design, they all have the like nice little colors inside. If you go to the properties and we go to our pen, you see there's T pen, okay? And then in your code, we're going to, so all of these properties, we're going to set it to the color of the form. So you're going to change that. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take each shape and we're going to say context pop-up. So let's find shape 1. Okay, shape 1 is my square. And let's see shape pop-up on, let me just find the code. Shape context pop-up. There we go. So over there we have on context pop-up. I will double click in the events section. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the brush color to red. I want the pen, that's the border, okay, the border of my shape to be black. And then at first, the reason I say dot enabled false, because I want it to be hidden. So basically I'm saying it mustn't be enabled when I say assign false. Okay. Then red found dot lines dot add, I'm going to add the words gold. So what it's going to do, it's going to display the words gold when I, so let me quickly show you what the program looks like when it runs. Okay, so what I can see here, I can't see anything. So I'm going to try and click. Let's see if I can get it to work. Am I getting them? There we go. So I found a shape. And what I need to do is I'm using my right click, not my left click. And then it tells me it's silver. Let's see, there's another one, there's diamonds. So I have found, this is a treasure hunt. So whatever I am telling when I find something in my treasure hunt, it's going to tell me what I found. So I found silver and diamonds. Let's see, can I find, there we go. I found some gold, and I'm sure there we go. And I found some jewelry. Was there one more? Can't remember. There we go. And some coins. This is such a fun. So especially if you've got a younger sibling, you could create a game like this for them and see if they can find the treasures that you have hidden for them. So if you ever thought about being a game designer, this is the very first game that you are designing. Okay, so let's go back here. So what I wanted to do is, when it pops up, okay, I wanted to change to red. The pen on the outside, the border must be black. I'm going to, from enabled, it must be hidden at this stage. But when it is found, so when I've red found.lines.add, you worked with a RichEdit, so red output.lines.add, then I'm going to display the word gold. Okay. Okay, great. Then if I have my next shape, this one is the aqua. And also, so all the pen, I'm going to have the borders to be drawn in black, and each one's going to have a different color. And I'm going to add the words. So this red found, this is your RichEdit. Okay, so let's add some code here just to help you. So this is the RichEdit. Okay, you've learned about that now. It can be called red output, it can be called red out, red display, red found, whatever you decide to call the component. Okay. Then it has two properties added to us. The first is the lines. And then what do I want to do with the lines? I want to add those lines, whatever is written in the string here. Okay. Then I have my different ones. So shape 4, I want it to be aqua. And it must display that I have found some silver. Then shape 5, let's quickly see. I've done, this was shape 1. Let's see what's shape 2. Shape 2 is over here. And I want it, so let's go into our events. Okay, so fuchsia, back a couple years back, I remember the Blue Bulls, they decided to make their shirts fuchsia, and everyone goes, why are Blue Bulls playing in pink? Okay, so it wasn't pink, it was called fuchsia. And when we find our object, then I wanted to say that I have discovered jewelry. Okay, let's see what's the next one. Shape 3 is my oval here, and I want it to be white on the inside, and it is going to display that I have found diamonds. Okay. Then we go to shape 4. Okay. Shape 4, as I've said, it's aqua, and I have found some silver. And then the last shape is going to be shape 5. And when I scroll over it and I right click, remember right click, not left click. So it's a context pop-up. It must be blue, and I have found some coins. Okay, so jot down this little piece of code. You're going to just change it. Now, get into the habit of using copy and paste. You do not have time to go and type out everything in the exam, okay? So if you note exactly the same code, all you're basically changing here is the number of your shape and the color and your the string that is going to be displayed. Then all you have to do is you go and copy that section, you click on the next bit, and you right click paste or Control V. Okay, and then you would have coded this program in very, very quick. So let's quickly run it again so that you can see how it is done. Okay, so at the moment I can't see anything, And I'm a kid who's in a sandbox, and I've got some buried treasures. So I'm going to click until I found some silver, and I'm going to click until I found all my prizes. Okay, great. Let's quickly, I'm going to stop sharing the screen and I'll go into the main screen. Okay, great. So now using the chat function, I want you to answer me on the side here, please. It would be nice for the user to see a brief message if and when they pass over a treasure. This can be accomplished by setting the show hint property for all the shapes to be true. So to do that, I'm going to go back into my Delphi program. I will click on my shape, go into my properties, and there is a, there we go. So there is, I'm going to set it, let's just see, is it show hint or there, show hint. I'm going to click on true. So this hint is when I scroll over it, the hint up here at the top, I'm going to type a message, for example, square, gold, coins, etc. Okay, so I'm going to set it to true, and I will go and change that on all the features, but I'm using the show hint. Okay, remember that you can set the property for all the shapes at the same time. Give each treasure shape a different value for its hint property. So let us go and see shape 1. Let's just go back to our code. Where was shape 1? Shape 1 was gold. Okay, so go to my show hint. I type in here, and I'm going to type the word gold. Okay, shape 2 was, let's go to our code. Shape 2 was jewelry. Let's go to our design. And in the hint section for shape 2, I'll type in jewelry. And this was shape 3. And I've got diamonds here. You see, I'm just using Control-C, Control-V. Very, very easy. I go and add my hint. I want diamonds. Shape 4. Let's find our shape 4. It's up to the top here, and I found some silver. Go to my object inspector, shape 5, and I found some coins and my hint. So let's run it again. I just want to show you how the show hint and the hint function works. So do you see, let's see, let's hope it works. Okay, my show hint is not activated. So basically what will happen is as, there we go. So as I've clicked on it, it will tell me I found gold, and I don't see it. I'll first have to click on it and then hold my mouse. It will show the hint. So that is something that you are required. There we go. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. So there, it tells me there's a hidden object. Okay, and there's another one. You need to program hints into your PAT program. Okay, so let's quickly go back to our screen here. Let me zoom out. There we go. Did you guys all see that screen now? I hope so, that I hadn't flicked off it yet. Okay, so that is a nice little hint that you can do. You can also add a RichEdit, which will list all the treasures so far. So we did that, and it would display it as we found our treasures. Okay, guys, so that you have now, let's quickly recap the things that you've learned. You've learned how to put a shape in. You've learned to change the color. You've learned to hide and show different components using the enable.false. Okay, you have learned how to make another component change colors. Okay, you've learned how to use the onActivate and the form create, and also the mouse move. Okay, on mouse move. So that was quite a lot of new techniques that you've learned in just these two activities. So I'd like you to go and practice them. Watch the video again. I will post this PowerPoint for you. Let's just show you the PowerPoint. So here we've got, these are the programs that you're going to create with the instructions for the first one. And there's the code for you in case you can't remember how to do it. And then the second program, our treasure hunt. Here is the components with their names. This is what it must look like. Okay, and then here over the next couple slides, I've given you the code. Now you won't be able to go and copy and paste. I've learned my lesson with that. You will actually have to go and type these out in your Delphi. Okay, so there are the different codes for this program. Okay, great. There we go. Yes, tickle. Sorry, did I stop sharing the screen? Okay, I'm going to share it again and just show you. Thank you for letting me know. I was wondering if that had happened. So I'm going to just go through the slideshow again. We've still got a few minutes. Okay, so let's go through the top. Here are the two programs. I've given you the components. Let me just activate the highlighter. Okay, and then you will have the instructions. This can be found on page 31 and 32 in your Delphi textbook. So please just refer to that. Then I have done a print screen of your code so that you'll be able to see what the code looks like. Here is the treasure hunt. The names, please ensure that you go and name each one. If you wanted to call it, instead of shape 1, make it shape square, shape circle, shape oval, or ellipse, rounded square, and rounded rectangle, rounded square, you may. And then here is the code. You've got your brush and your pen. Okay, and I've included the code for each procedure for you. Please remember, you're not going to double click on it. You're using from the events, the context pop-up. Okay, so basically what that does, it activates the right click on your mouse. Okay, so there are our codes. Let me go back into the coding, into the video. Okay, I hope you learned something today, and I will see you again on Thursday. Okay, are there any other questions? I'm just going to stop the recording.